We want to introduce the upcoming Operation Save America podcast. We've had a lot of requests to do a podcast, and we see great value in us teaching and equipping the church how to engage the culture effectively, how to share the gospel on the streets, how to get out of the four walls of the church, how to get the salt out of the salt shaker into the culture, engaging the culture, bringing the gospel to where it's needed. So it's going to not be your typical podcast where we just sit and talk and banter back and forth, and we'll do plenty of that. But this podcast is really going to be about teaching and equipping you and showing how to engage in effective evangelism and cultural engagement, both on the streets, at abortion clinics, college campuses, in our legislative halls, as well as what that looks like in the context of a local church and how we disciple and raise up young men, young women to be also faithfully engaged in the work of the Great Commission, making disciples of all nations. And so it's going to be a fun podcast. We have a lot of great guests who are very experienced and knowledgeable in a wide range of areas. And it's going to be something I think is going to be a real benefit to the body of Christ.
Yeah, so the big idea of this podcast is to put out a podcast that's well produced, that equips the church to get the gospel outside of the four walls and go out into the community. You're going to see us out engaging the culture. Don't let the fact that you're going to see us so much keep you from watching the podcast.
It'll be tough.
But we are going to hopefully present a persuasive case as to why Christians need to be active, engaged in the culture with the message of the gospel. And so we look forward to seeing you on there.